I'm here with Matt Weissinger, who's project manager for THQ and De Blob, right? And just got a couple of questions for you. All right, so for those of us who are new to the Blob, right, and especially those of us among the Xbox World community, who are probably, there's many who probably aren't familiar with the Blob. What is the game about?
Yeah, absolutely. The Blob is a ball of paint, right? He's in this world, and all the color and life and vitality has been sucked out of it by Papa Blanc, and he's the leader of this cultist movement that's really taking all the color and fun and life out of the world. He's enslaving the citizens, the fair Radians in their community, and Blob is the only one who can bring it back. And so he brings it back to life with different paints, patterns, and soundtracks, bringing back the color and love and vitality to the world.
All right, so we've had a number of games actually that have kind of taken that approach of recoloring the world. I think there was a Shaun White skateboarding game. There was Saboteur. You know, like, so what really differentiates the Blob from these games? Although I'm pretty sure the gameplay is pretty obvious.
No, absolutely. The Blob's an amazing platforming experience, and I'll also say Blob beat him the first time around with its original gaming experience on the Wii, and you know, really the team was so excited to bring it this time around to the next gen platforms, 360, PlayStation 3. But not only that, it's a great value and it's amazing in 3D. So the Blob supports fully 3D on both the Xbox and the PlayStation, and really the sense of depth that you get this time around with the huge vertical cities and the amazing vibrancy and the colors. Honestly, it's unparalleled when you put on those glasses and you really can see the depth in the Blob.
So in that case, are the 3D that's in both versions of the game? Are those is it supported on the Wii in 3D as well?
No, not
okay,
on the Wii.
But on the Xbox and the PS3. Okay, so in these versions, right? Is it supporting 3 TVs, or is there going to be like a pair of 3D glasses that can be run, like you can view it on any TV?
Yeah, your TV still needs to support 3D. You will need the 3D glasses unless you've got an expensive set that doesn't need them. But no, certainly it's an amazing 3D experience, and I think truly the world of De Blob and its kind of action platforming experience delivers on it much better than even some of the content that you're seeing these days, even out of Hollywood.
All right, so I actually did have a chance to play it before coming here, so it was a lot of fun. I had little trouble figuring out how to play, but I did have some difficulty figuring out how to complete the challenge. Right? How much of the level do I need to color, like, before it can be considered like passed?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And De Blob was built for everyone. I mean, if you're a kid and you want to pick it up and play it, absolutely. It supports all sorts of great free painting modes where if you just want to go into the world and bring it back to life and kind of enjoy the different environments, you're totally able to do that. At the same time, there's going to be all sorts of fun challenges and different gameplay puzzles that you're going to experience along the way. So for example, Blob, with its first iteration, it came out in this great 3D action platforming experience, and really working with the developer, all of us are kind of fans of the old kind of Mario 2D side-scrolling experiences, and this time around, De Blob actually features a lot of its own 2D side-scrolling puzzles. So actually you will have over 100 different 2D side-scrolling experiences and puzzles that you'll actually encounter along the way.
Right. So I also found myself getting pretty addicted to the music as like the layers kind of built on as I got more paint in my palette, right? And I felt really disappointed when I fell in the water or I ran out of paint. So what's a good strategy for keeping the paint streak going?
No, as you're grooving through the environments, and certainly as you're completing the challenges and defeating the different inky enemies, when you start and the world's all gray, you're going to have a slow vibe and maybe even a hum when you first initially start the level. As you're painting the environment and bringing it back to life, the whole soundtrack starts to change, and it's totally interactive. Depending on the colors that you're using and painting the different buildings, it's going to play a different note or instrument, actually in tune to your own kind of jumping and platforming experience. So certainly, if you're grooving and you're kind of sticking it to the inkies, the soundtrack's going to be jamming, and you can just kind of fall in that slouch in the couch type mood and just kind of relax to the Blob.
All right. So my last question is, I remember the president, THQ, Danny, was saying that that the Blob is actually was made to appeal not just to kids but also to older and mature gamers as well. And how exactly is the Blob is positioned to do that?
Yeah, you know, first of all, I would just say De Blob himself as a character, he's funny, he's a prankster, you know, he goes through the environments and he's always kind of got the edge on the inky enemies and everything. But, you know, at the same time, De Blob was meant to be something where you could pick up and play. Like I mentioned, it supports that kind of free play, free painting experience. But at the same time, it does have a lot of challenges and power-ups and actual progression and the different type of enemies that you're going to be playing against. And really, it kind of harkens back to that kind of classic gamer who maybe had their Nintendo Entertainment System or their Nintendo 64, and they just were, you know, really enjoying that solid platforming gaming experience. And that's kind of how Blob, he has that appeal to both that kind of more mature gamer who likes kind of just getting in the groove and start playing through the levels, but at the same time, you know, little ones can just pick it right up too and find that De Blob's fun and approachable.
Thank you very much, Matt. Thanks for all your answers. I know it's been tough. And we look forward to playing the game later on this year.
Great.
All right. Thanks again. Thanks.